Write this down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
It's Write That Down with Mackey, Judd, and Rami.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write that down.
Welcome in. The only sports talk show in America that actually keeps track of our predictions. Write that down, and an accountability session every Wednesday here on Mackey and Judd. Also, I tweeted this out this morning, but just to let the people know, we have a few different places you can listen to us or watch us on a regular basis. Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily with Mackey and Judd are the two shows that we're pumping out every day. You can find both of those on Apple, Spotify, and SKORNorth.com. You can also find them on two different YouTube channels, youtube.com/SKORNorthMN, where we post different segments and clips from Mackey and Judd, and then youtube.com/Purple Daily Podcast. And for those of you asking, what about the radio? You can still find us on SKOR North Radio, AM 1500, and live.skornorth.com from 5 to 6 p.m. every single weekday. Here's how Write That Down works, boys. It's very simple.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs, and you can DM me on Twitter at Phil Mackey if you want to participate at some point. I think we have a couple openings still, like the 3rd week in December. Otherwise, we'll start booking up for like January and February here too. So if you want to start off the 2021 season with a couple of home runs, just DM me at Phil Mackey. Even if I don't follow you, you can DM me at any time. You guys ready for the accountability session? We're gonna get Eric and Tony into the mix here. They're gonna be the guest listener predictors in just a couple of minutes. But Judd, are you feeling good about your 400 plus batting average all season?
That all depends on what I see now.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's just 2.
A couple of red there.
Yeah.
Judd, you said Everson Griffin would have at least 2 sacks against the Vikings on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a 0 on a tip pass, if I am correct.
He talked like he had 2 sacks against the Vikings.
Yeah, you should give me the points based on that.
He definitely was a chatterbox. And then you said the Vikings very pessimistically would go 2-14 in 2020. That is now mathematically impossible because they are surging.
Fair enough.
3-5.
Playoff team, baby.
Yep. Can't believe how negative you are.
Mm.
All right. Jonathan Harrison, last year's reigning, defending, undisputed batting average champion. Actually, it was very disputed because he cheated at the end and we allowed it. He said there will be at least 2 more managers fired in Major League Baseball.
Count the balls.
For the sign stealing scandal. So I don't know, like we didn't put an end date on this, but not only has there not been another manager fired, but the original 2 guys who got fired now have jobs again. So
he said this after Hinch was fired and Cora
he said
was
it
fired
after,
and Beltran.
He said it after Hinch was fired.
Okay.
Got it.
And he meant like managers that were currently managers before as the scandal came out.
So wait, he said it after Hinch, but before Cora?
Mm-hmm.
And before Beltran?
But Beltran never did Beltran get hired?
Yeah.
He got hired and then
let go
within a week.
Yeah, he's very close to being right here.
You know what?
If he said this after Hinch.
Yeah.
Let's give it to him. Okay. Let's give it to him. I'll make the batting average adjustment.
Look at me coming through for a guy who cheated the system so badly last year.
I'll make the batting average adjustment. He did say that Luis Amarilla would be in the top 3 in scoring in MLS this season. I think he's missed like a bunch of games with injury, so
we're all such big fans.
It's not working out.
I watch it every week, though.
I actually am a fan of Minnesota United, so you speak for yourself.
Okay?
Yeah,
I've lost complete track of them. I'm sorry.
Manny Hill said Jose Barrios would win the 2020 Cy Young Award. That did not
forced
happen.
home run prediction.
And Rami had nothing come off the board. I had a couple things come off the board.
Yes.
I said the Gophers and the Vikings would each pick up in separate predictions victories this last weekend.
I'm glad to see you get a couple hits.
Yeah, good for you.
It was a really rough stretch.
It was rough. I'm glad for you.
The listeners, let's see here. Tony said Nelson Cruz will win MVP. He is not one of the finalists. I think that comes out tomorrow. Yep. I'm going to breeze past this one as quickly as possible by saying that Andrew predicted Donald Trump would win the 2020 election with a higher electoral vote count than he had in 2016. And I will just say that regardless of what happens in the next 2 months, I think this is mathematically impossible. So we'll just leave that there. Alex said that Notre Dame would beat Clemson, and damn it. I know they didn't have the best quarterback in the country, but we'll take that victory. That was a nice
win. That was a really good game.
It was.
Delayed Saturday Night Live, but that's okay.
Yeah, how about that?
I was a little upset about that.
And you know what?
I'm sure SNL was too.
Quick rant about that. Okay, I know that the NBC News affiliates, like they're contractually obligated to run 30 minutes of news outside of like the owned and operated ones in New York and LA.
Yep.
Like I think like KARE 11 has to run news. KARE 11 spent 30 minutes between this football game and like the most anticipated SNL, post-election SNL in a long time. They spent 30 minutes basically apologizing for having to be on the air and showing us like sports clips from 3 days before.
I actually saw a tweet that said they were given that the local affiliates across the country were given the option
really
of bagging the news. And I believe it was in Philadelphia that they came on and did a really quick, hey,
Here's what's
5-1,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. See ya, bye.
Oh my God. Like, so
they got off the air.
Like KARE 11 gets like, so they're like 25 minutes into this thing. And it's like, we all know what, like, unless somebody, is there like a building on fire that we need to know about? Okay.
No, Nick Bukestad started a, little obstacle course. We had to know about that.
And it's Chappelle. I was
And
waiting.
Chappelle.
I'm just waiting for
The
Chappelle.
king.
It's amazing.
He's
The king.
He's incredible.
So Notre Dame beat Clemson. Declan, you said Adrian Peterson will score at least one touchdown against the Vikings.
Okay, I'm curious this yellow. All right.
And then this is the one that I made it orange in color here because it's in question. You said at least one other Dodgers player will test positive for COVID after the Justin Turner fiasco. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're 2 weeks out from the World Series. There was a report, multiple reports, that up to 9 Dodgers employees, have tested positive, but nope, and even a couple family members in the 9. But there has been no confirmation that a player tested positive. So, and I don't know how much information we're going to get on this now that it's sort of over. So I'm just putting it in, it's neither a win or a loss. It's just sort of like off the board until you're not wrong necessarily because we don't know who.
It's a tie?
It's just off the board for now.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. So here are the updated batting averages. And John Harrison's actually going to be higher than this. Judd Zulgad, 405 with 3 home runs. Rami Makloff, 386 with 1 home run. Declan, 348 with 1 home run. I'm at 289 with 3 home runs. Listeners, 223 with 2 home runs. Manny Hill, 178 with a home run. John Harrison, 170 with 2 home runs.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
And let's get our guest listener predictors in here. We've got Eric. We've got Tony. What's up, Eric? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Like the headset. Like it. Tony, what's going on with you today?
Just got off of work and now I'm hanging with you.
Ready to take some home run swings. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start with Tony, and then we're going to go to Eric, and then Judd, Declan, and Phil will go around the room 3 times. And you just have to make sure your prediction is quantifiable. It can be sports, non-sports, whatever you want it to be. We'll start with Tony. Are you here to swing for the fences, or are you here to rate the batting average?
Yep, we are. Chicks dig the long ball.
I love it. All right.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With 200 plus receiving yards by the end of the season.
Say it one more time.
Justin Jefferson will have a game with 200 plus receiving yards by the end of the season.
Assuming they find him enough
so
times.
Kirk can throw again. Kirk will be allowed to throw. That'll be good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ramp up the targets to Justin Jefferson.
I should be careful what I say.
He's on pace for like half the targets of the top wide receivers in the NFL, which is ridiculous. But all right, over to Eric. What's going on, man?
Not much. I also got off work a few hours ago, so I'm ready to roll here.
Let's do it.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Alex Kirilloff and Brent Rooker will be on the Twins' regular season roster in 2021.
So are you saying for opening day?
Yes.
Okay.
They will be on the opening day roster.
On the opening day roster.
I think you're probably right.
When is the deadline for them to decide on Eddie Rosario being non-tendered?
It's in December.
Sometime in December, yeah.
Okay. So we'll know pretty quickly if there's going to be an opening for that.
Write this down.
All right, Judd Zulgad.
The Vikings will beat the Bears on Monday night, giving Kirk Cousins his first ever victory on Monday Night Football.
Wow.
Currently 0-9.
Right?
The Vikings are going to beat the Bears, and hence Kirk Cousins will get quarterback win number 1 on MNF.
And keep in mind, if the Bears can't stop Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins throws the ball 15 times, he still gets the W.
He gets the win, man.
Get that W. Eat those W's like Jameis Winston.
How about the fact he did that again?
Jameis?
Yes.
Oh, he's all
Classic,
in.
dude.
Yeah, he was doing it in the locker room too.
What is he like 5?
What do you mean? He's eating
You're a
W's.
backup quarterback now.
Yeah, but he's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. All right, Declan.
All right, 4-item parlay here for the Vikings game.
A
Whoa.
4-item parlay?
4-item parlay. The Vikings will beat
Love
the
it.
Bears.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook goes for over 100 yards. Kirk throws for over 220. Justin Jefferson catches a touchdown.
Wow.
4-item parlay.
This is a home run if
And it's
it
a home run
happens.
and even though all
yeah.
these things aren't like crazy, but if all of them happen together, it's definitely a home run. So
Yes.
I only have one bomb on the season.
That's a home run.
So Vikings beat the Bears. Dalvin over 100. Kirk 220. And then Justin Jefferson catches a touchdown.
look
that
at the power you're attempting to show here, Dex.
Right. I need some dingers, man.
You're a skinny, gaunt guy, but
I
that
have
would
no
be an
problem being
impressive-
Ben Revere. Okay, I have no problem being Ben Revere.
I kind of,
You
what?
go, Jason Tyner.
I didn't have a Vikings parlay in mind, but I'm gonna craft
Doing
one
it?
here.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
Can you say what yours was again,
Sure.
Dex?
The Vikings beat the Bears.
Yeah.
Dalvin goes for over 100 yards.
Okay.
Kirk throws for over 220 yards.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson catches a touchdown.
Love it.
All right. So here's my parlay. Here's my 4-item parlay. I'm going to try and sort of mirror Declan, but the opposite.
Yeah.
The Vikings will lose to the Bears. Dalvin Cook will be held to under 100 yards.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins will throw at least one interception, and Justin Jefferson will not score a touchdown. I'll just counter yours for the most part. So Vikings will lose. Dalvin will be held under 100 because the Bears will adjust. Kirk will throw at least one interception, and JJ will not score a touchdown.
Okay.
That's very
Write this
Zolganian
down.
of you.
Write it
Yeah.
down. You like writing things
I
down.
feel like, I don't
That's
know.
really
I
negative.
feel like we're all very quick to have crowned the Vikings NFC North champions after 2 victories, but we'll see.
I'm putting the pressure on. I told you, I want the pressure applied directly on the Vikings.
Back to Tony, your second prediction.
Mo Ibrahim will finish in the top 10 in Heisman voting.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know what? That's a solid one.
You know, we came in thinking that the Gophers might have a couple Heisman Trophy fringe candidates, and Mo was not on that list. But now that he's scoring all the touchdowns and gaining all the yards, that's not a bad one.
I like it.
Not a bad one. And the fact that Trevor Lawrence, like, missing games with COVID, it's more of an even playing field.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Eric, your second prediction.
Write it down. At some point during the regular season, Dalvin Cook will break Adrian Peterson's single game rushing record.
Wow. Amazing. I love that.
Which would be the NFL record, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
296. Is that right?
296. So you're basically
Against
saying
San Diego?
Dalvin's going to run for 300 yards in a game at some point.
Oh, it's
This season.
coming. It's coming.
I mean, he's probably the most equipped in the NFL to do it. Like, he's the most explosive and high usage running back in the NFL.
What will Kirk's pass attempts be in that game? 4, 5?
Probably 10.
Yeah, 10.
What didn't the Vikings? So T-Jack got hurt in that game, right? And then did Gus Farrat come in to?
I think 3
Or no,
quarters.
Bollinger came
Brooks
in.
came in. Bollinger came
I
in.
thought it was even 3 quarterbacks came into that game. I thought maybe.
Brooks finished it out for sure. We actually
Jackson-
talked to him
right.
for a rewind episode.
Jackson got knocked out cold, and that's the one where he got knocked out cold on his back, and his arms were
like, sticking
straight
up.
up like a
That's right.
statue, like a touchdown.
Yeah, he was just signaling. He saw Adrian running down the field and was signaling.
Write it down. You like writing things
I
down.
love these predictions. These are great.
All right, Judd, your second prediction.
I've given this great thought, and I regret to inform all of you that the Vikings will not take a quarterback in the opening round of the National Football League draft in 2021. The Vikings will not take a quarterback in the opening round of the draft in 2021.
That's highly disappointing.
They're going to rebound enough, and Rick and Mike are going to be like, yeah, but that cornerback is really good. That defensive end is really good. They might take a quarterback at some point in time, but it won't be in round 1 at the rate they're going.
If that happens, Kirk gets all of them fired after 2021. So
Write this down. Write it
That
down.
actually-
You like writing things
maybe
down.
that's going to be a prediction for me. Go ahead, Dex.
I got a golf one here. Bryson DeChambeau will finish at least top 5 in the Masters.
Oh, okay. Apparently, he had like a 200-mile-per-hour swing speed drive on the driving range
Yes.
today.
You have to hit bombs at Augusta. You have to. And there's no other man who's more equipped to hit bombs than Bryson DeChambeau.
I actually have a Masters prediction too here, so
Write this down.
we'll fire this off.
Okay.
We will have a first-time Masters champion this weekend. So what I'm saying is somebody will win the Masters who has never won the Masters before. So we're taking Tiger off the board. We're taking Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson, Jordan Spieth, Sergio Garcia, I think withdrew. So he's already off the board. So if Bryson wins, if Dustin Johnson wins, it's not a home run prediction. I'm saying we will have a first-time Masters champion this weekend. Justin Thomas could win it.
Write this down.
All right, back to Tony.
All right, got a WWE one for you.
Love it.
Victoria will be enshrined into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2021, and she will be inducted by Mickey James.
Okay. Victoria, Judd, do you have any
have
idea who
no
these people
idea.
are?
I have no idea what Tony just said.
She ain't the
Mickey
woman to mess
James?
with.
Yeah, Mickey James came in, had some psychological issues when she entered WWE, was a bit too friendly with Trish Stratus, and then wound up getting some psychological help, and then had a nice 15-year career. Victoria was an early Divas.
I'm more lost
breakthrough.
now than I was before.
Tony, since you've got this gigantic platform right now, is there anyone in your life that you'd like to thank that got you to this point?
Of course, my wife and my daughter. And it being Veterans Day today, I'd like to thank all that served before me, with me, and since. I was fairly lucky to not have any post-military issues, but some weren't so lucky. So just ask for people to take some time and think about those who didn't come home so lucky.
Amen, Tony.
Thank
Love
you
it.
too.
Appreciate your
for
service
serving, yeah.
and your home run swings today too.
Appreciate your support.
Thanks,
Awesome,
Tony.
man.
Take care.
Tony.
Hey, Eric, your final prediction.
I had a WWE one also, but I changed it the last minute. So I got a NASCAR one for you.
All right.
Chase Elliott's going to win the Daytona 500 in 2021.
So I've been out on NASCAR for a long time. So Chase Elliott is Bill Elliott's kid, right?
Yes. And he
Okay.
just won the championship too.
And he's young, right? He's like 25 or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
So he's gonna be racking up all kinds of wins. I don't think we have a NASCAR. We have a couple. Like we have an F1 prediction on the board from a
I
listener.
thought maybe we had one or two.
I don't know that we have any NASCAR predictions. So new ground here.
I'm glad Chase
From
Elliott
Eric.
too is just spelled Chase Elliott. Like there's not some crazy name for Formula One. Chase Elliott. I probably still
Declan.
spelled it. Actually, let me double
Poor
check.
Declan struggles to spell the, and all these people give him tough
I
names.
had trouble spelling my own name.
I mean,
okay?
we had a month run during like
Right, that's why DEX.
the beginning of COVID where we were making Bundesliga predictions
Oh, that was hell.
on Declan.
That was you.
You were.
That was Mackey.
Yeah,
That was not
I
me.
grew up
I
into
never
that.
went Bundesliga.
Eric, since you have this platform now, who would you like to thank in your life?
You guys for entertaining us during this COVID mess. And of course, Veterans Day, all the veterans. I'm a Army grandson. My grandfather served in the Army for 40 years. So big shout out to everybody. And thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Hey, man,
Absolutely.
Eric, great
Thank you,
stuff,
Eric.
dude. Appreciate you coming on, making you write that down predictions.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
Back to Judd Zolgad.
My final write that down is actually makes me sad to say, but it's going to be true. Adrian Peterson will be on an NFL roster when next season begins. Adrian Peterson will never go away. He will be on a roster in the National Football League when next season opens.
I'm trying to think of what team. It's got to be a team that's just sort of in flux transition.
Yeah, who's
like
going to be a running back
Washington,
starved
you
sort
know,
of crappy team?
Seattle.
Jacksonville. Seattle would do it. Yeah, Seattle would bring him in as like the.
Oh, Jacksonville's a good one too, though. Jacksonville's a good. It's just going to be somebody who's just hopeless.
But I mean, Seattle definitely did it with Marshawn Lynch, but that was also kind of provincial for them. And no, Seattle's a great guess, though. They're the type of team that would just like take, like they were in the Antonio Brown discussion.
flyer.
Like,
Right.
take flyers on guys.
Write it down. You like writing things
All
down.
right, Declan.
All right, last one. Freddie Freeman will win the National League MVP. That's coming out tomorrow.
Nice.
And to be honest, he should be unanimously the guy. But Mookie Betts has still had a pretty good year, and I feel like Freddie Freeman. Well, actually, it's not in like an obvious statement. He is the most underrated player in baseball. Like Freddie Freeman's unbelievable, and he was really good this year.
Mhm.
But I think Freddie Freeman does get the NL MVP, and if he doesn't, I'm going to riot.
You're gonna.
That'll be a party of
Right,
one.
You're that emotionally invested
Yes.
in Freddie Freeman's
Freeman.
NL MVP.
Absolutely.
So politics, no. COVID, no.
No.
Freddie Freeman didn't win the bleeping MVP.
Pitchforks.
I'm out in the street.
we riot.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it to the streets of
Recount
Minneapolis
the votes.
now.
So if he's leading early, are you going to get on Twitter and
Stop the count.
yell,
Stop the count.
Okay.
Then count the
See.
votes.
Joe, what was your second prediction again?
that the Vikings will not draft a quarterback in round 1.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go for this prediction. This is one of those contingency.
Write
ones.
it down. You like writing things down.
If the Vikings don't draft a quarterback in the first round of the 2021 draft, Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer will both be unemployed by the time the 2022 league year rolls around.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that if they don't invest in the future at that position,
Yes.
then the incumbent at that position will get them fired.
Will if they are fired, will they leave office?
Remains to be seen. I've heard
They still haven't come out of TCO Performance Center.
I've heard Rick has a tenacious legal team, so we'll have to see what happens.
That's the new thing, right? That's got to be the sports thing. Who's going to be the first sports guy who gets fired and is like, that's fine, but
And
I'm not leaving.
holds that press conference at Four Seasons. All right, Mackey and Judd. We'll find our friend Patrick Royce. Those are your write that down predictions.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
And an accountability session. Thanks to our listener friends, Tony and Eric. And again, if you want to hit us up, if you want to be part of the segment, DM me on Twitter at Phil Mackey, and we'll get you scheduled for, we got a couple openings in December, and otherwise we can look to our